Fast forward, you come out our channel so aha AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast stories are trending because making headlines. And the Jemre na EDB Exomo our ha need him near home black semu say any AD can. Only I'm special with my subscribe to the channel. Or many also with my notification bell so share na Afofran so answer into me can be need monia yanko political highways na ye bo every man on the floor of parliament a year majority leader Afenyo Markins na utimi edito a year parliament and him say former finance minister a year Ken Ofori ata fawdia a majority dino no omunhwe na omum put a stop to it because papa no suswampa was some or mine pen we ni free honso a nabusuafo enso ewo Ghana ha say sanso na dinua enso a member of parliament enti eni die except factor papa no a parliament etumi e de emano na yemonwura nseminim ne enhwe ensema hodo a etimi epiemu efiri ebaye aha AGH Politics Avenue yenko eye nseminim.
Mr. Speaker, the respected member by name Honorable Duke Ofori, who is a member of our caucus, has lamented over a matter that affects his family. And Mr. Speaker, on Friday, according to him, though I saw myself, members on the other side of the house printed his brother's pictures, about 15 or so of them showing the pictures and shouting, corruption, corruption, corruption. Mr. Speaker, this side of the house is of the view that we must all be fair in treating each other. Mr. Speaker, earlier today I had the occasion to address a specific matter which the minister felt strongly about it. I think that should be the way to go. We should all be fair in how we treat ourselves, especially those who are not in this chamber to respond to allegations. Mr. Speaker, if any member on this side had printed a picture of a minister of state or a former minister from our friends opposite, I'm sure none of them would take kindly to it. So I will plead through my own classmates, steady mates, colleague at the bar, Honorable Dafeamekpor, Eche Roxen, Kwame. I will plead with him. He is a chief whip for his side. That never again should such a thing happen. Our side, we are not going to pursue it, and because we are assured. So I'm not resigning from that assurance. But to the extent that the colleague is a junior brother of Mr. Ken Ofori, a former finance minister of this republic, no court has found him guilty. We can do our politics, but to also print his pictures deliberately. And that day, the whole world's attention was on this chamber. I would plead through my friend, the chief whip, to ensure that in future, any such action is curtailed, controlled, or stopped by him, so that this house would get the needed peace. Because, Mr. Speaker, if we don't stop it, a certain precedent will be set where maybe any of us from the backbench could also do something against a serving minister of state. Perhaps when that is allowed, we may not be able to control the consequences of it. So it's a humble plea, and I want to assure the Honorable Duke Ofori, who has persistently, because I was not in the chamber, he still insisted that the family is so concerned that as a caucus we have not dealt with this matter, and I had to rush into the chamber to make this plea. I don't intend to litigate it, but I am pleading with the chief whip and the leadership of the majority caucus that enough of Ken Ofori's name in this chamber and the persecution and the attack on his reputation. He also is a human being, a Ghanaian, he has a wife, he has children, he has extended family, and not the least, he has a brother who is a sitting member with us. So, Mr. Speaker, I will rest my case and thank you and thank colleagues for the kind audience.
Very well. Honorable Majority Chief Whip, will you say something?
Speaker, let the record reflect that nobody is holding Duke, my friend, my brother, vicariously liable. Oh, please, let me. Liable for the actions or inactions of his elder brother. Nobody is doing that. And nobody is going after his family. I believe that in this forum, it's a tournament of politics. Here, we play politics here. And he told me that here, it's not a church. Now, the minority leader is saying that enough of Ken Ofori's name. But he's aware of the issues. And if this side feels strongly about raising a matter, me, I cannot stop them. Because it's politics. The demand is that Ken must come to account for his stewardship. Speaker, I was here when I entered this parliament in January 2017. John Dramani Mahama was not a member. But things were said from this side about his tenure. I don't want us to go on that tangent. So I am struggling to appreciate the position the minority leader is taking. I am pained. I am pained that this matter is having some adverse impact on Duke. I am pained. Yes, I am pained because I can gauge the mood. But it's about his elder brother's conduct. Everybody is saying, come and account for us too. I believe that if he were here and going through the processes, nobody will mention his name. So on this note, I want to assure him that we will not antagonize him. Please, we will not antagonize him, especially when his sensibilities are concerned. But we want to urge him to urge his big brother to come home, to let us go through the drills of accountability. I'm sure that will also help. Then again, he was here. He was in a muffler. He brought cocoa pots. Some were not even ripe, Mr. Speaker, but he brought it to the floor. So once he's urging me not to bring foreign materials to the floor, Mr. Speaker, I will also urge him also not to bring foreign materials to the floor. But on this note, I believe that we can always do the politics so that we... Yes, I know the cocoa pot is like a weapon. I agree. But on a more serious note, Mr. Speaker, I think we are all guided. And I want to urge Duke that he and I will relate very well. We will not do anything untoward to hurt himself or the family name. But it's the politics. He must have a thick skin for some of these things. But I can assure him that it's noted. The sentiments are noted, and so going forward we'll be guided. But this is politics, so you shouldn't take it too personal. That's all that I can say. Yes. Thank you,
Speaker. I appreciate what the majority Chief Whip just said. But Mr. Speaker, I would just beg of him and all of us here to appreciate the context of my submission. The context of my submission, Mr. Speaker, I have had to manage a friendship with a minister of state because the caucus took a position on a matter and the minister felt that, oh, Markin, why are you being personal? Mr. Speaker, me, Kwame, not standing here, I have that skin to manage all situations. I detach from the happenings of this chamber. I don't take it personal. But not everybody who has that thick skin. And I'm saying this because of the likely precedents. Because of the happenings, as a leader, I have to say I take responsibility for a thing that I have not even said just to bring peace. But this is also somebody who is a blood brother. Today the Council of Elders have summoned me that Markin, what about the caucus? Ken Ofori, they carried his picture and call him corrupt. What is MPP also doing? So, Majority Chief Whip, I don't want it to be like it's politics. If we open the floodgate, tomorrow, I'm being hypothetical, Ima is here. Upon hearing something, I'll just say, let's print his pictures and show it. No. So I would plead with you. I don't want you to say that you cannot control that bit. Please. No, that was the impression I got. You can do the politics, you can, in your argument, if you want to refer to Ken Ofori, you can do. We would have the opportunity to rebut or whatever. But I'm saying that to bring the picture of someone who has been in public service, you may have issues with him, but our constitution says that you can try somebody in absentia. The constitution is there. You are a lawyer. You and I have spent our time in the court. That in the Tago case, which was done by Dr. Ayeni, the Court of Appeal stated clearly the position of the law that in improving the essential ingredient of an offense, the accused plays no role. That is the law. That is the criminal jurisprudence of the country, and you know that. So the issue of Ken Ofori's presence or otherwise in the jurisdiction is inconsequential. I beg to submit. We should do the politics, but I'm saying we had an occasion where a member of parliament, there was a statement and a relative was mentioned. It became a whole matter. We all know. I don't want to go into details. So please, the honorable member has raised this concern to the elders of the party and to leadership. I am conveying this because today we are in an atmosphere of peace. It is Lent and it is Ramadan, right? Yes. We are fasting. Christians are fasting. Muslims are fasting. It's the reason why we are all taking a posture. So please, Catholics, I'm a Catholic, I'm fasting. You know, but are Catholics not Christians?
No.
He doesn't go to church, Mr. Speaker. That gentleman does not go to church.
What did he say?
He says, Mr. Speaker, I don't mind him. Methodist Christians are also observing Lent, if you don't know. Mr. Speaker, so I would want to plead with him again. Enough of Ken Ofori. If we are all saying that we should do politics, and you remember this issue that you raised, that the respected president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when that matter came up, all of us here condemned it. Do you remember? No, Mr. Speaker. No. It was condemned. No, don't. I was in this chamber. Take it easy. When that matter was raised, I remember the minority leader, Harun Idrisu, even was going to push a motion of censure against the person who raised it. I was here. He raised it that the minority was going to boycott proceedings until that thing was withdrawn. The man withdrew and apologized. Why is it that when it gets to you, you are able to impress upon us that, look, let's go the right way. When it is you want to justify. That is where I have my problem. Bad faith. No, that's the impression I got. Bad faith. You refer to the president's and all. So, Mr. Speaker, I am saying all of these. Mr. Speaker, let me have a safe landing on this. Bear with me. I want us to bring a permanent closure to our conduct in this chamber. If we all say we should show mutual respect, let us do so that the floodgate is not open. Ken Ofori is as human as you and I. He's a citizen of Ghana. What he's going through can happen to any of you tomorrow. It can happen to any of you. You have ministers serving, you have public officers. The contractors or the businessmen that he gave jobs to are the same businessmen that are doing business with government today. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. Nothing has changed. Let's be careful. Mr. Speaker, I would want to conclude.
Thank you.
And thank you so much.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, you want to say something?
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. I wanted to make few comments because of my own experience in the front bench. I am very excited that I'm listening to this discussion about our decency and respect in communication. I've argued that we can make very strong points without being insensitive to individuals, and also to be very respectful of one another. And to be coming from the minority leader who I have had a long experience with, occasionally completely out of bounds, is very refreshing. And I think that if the discussion is for us to have a new start, to be decent, and to make sure we are sensitive in our deliberations, I think it's a very important, refreshing, coming from the minority leader. And I believe that he has been using the word a lot. The political class must be very mindful. And some of the things he has said are very true. And so I am simply raising the point that the need to be respectful of one another and sensitive, especially when it comes to issues he has raised, are very important. We can still make the point about legal issues that are pending without appearing to be disrespectful of individuals, families, and creating unnecessary pain. And I understand that. And so I am saying that if this is the call, it's a good call. But this call must be sustained and must not be that today the minority leader is raising it because it suits him. If this is a call that we will all respect and sustain, we can do the politics decently with respect for one another. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I think minority leader's position is just an admonition to the House. I think we all have to take a cue from it. We are all putting ourselves together to build a nation. So I don't think we need to split our hairs on this. And I don't think he says one should refrain from it or one should apologize. He says we should, going forward, we should try and position ourselves well with the view that what is happening today can happen tomorrow. I think it's a good call. Let's take them in good faith. So on that note, Honorable Dafeamekpor, I'm bringing proceedings to a close. Just allow me to bring proceedings to a close. Leader, allow me to bring proceedings to a close. Because you speak, somebody may also, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Leader, it doesn't matter. Leader, okay, if you are so strong about what, just go ahead.
Speaker, I am not standing here trying to justify what happened, but I'm only drawing attention that there are high-ranking officers within our party ranks that suffered that from his hands here on this floor, not once. So that the singular reference to that act was not once. It happened severally. The sitting president now, when he was in opposition, he was called all sorts of names, even on this floor. So if all of us want to chart a new path, he should say so. But it shouldn't come across as if we should desist. Because it's a culture. And he knows that it's a culture on this floor. But if he tells me that I should desist, I won't. Because I know that it's hurting him. So I'll do it more. But I won't. Because my President Mahama was called names. Names. The wife was brought in. Names. It's unhealthy. So I agree with you that we are chatting a new
let's take this.
And I hope that we'll stay on that clean path going forward.
Very well. I
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No. I'm not giving the floor to anybody again. Yeah, I wouldn't give the floor to anybody. I think we've taken the call rightly. I think everybody has seen that it's a nation that we are building. As I said earlier on, it's a nation that we are building. We may go wrong one way or the other, but we look forward and see that we can chart a better path. So let's take the admonition in good faith and move on. And on that note, I'll bring proceedings to a close and adjourn the House to tomorrow, 2:00 in the afternoon. Tomorrow, 2.
Speaker, our prayer is that because Friday is 6 March, we are praying that we rather sit from 10.
Is it 10?
10 a.m. So that by 1 p.m., 2 p.m., we'll draw down the curtain so members can quickly travel.
Is that the prayer of the minority?
To join that was the agreement we had this morning. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, we, the minority, are not opposed to sitting commencing at 10. But let me send this message to the majority through its available leader. Mr. Speaker, we have a pending motion which deals with mass dismissal of Ghanaian employees in the public service. It's been pending. We moved. Anytime we had sought the leave of the House to continue the debate, the majority had found a way to stop it. Mr. Speaker, the motion was moved, seconded, and the majority chief whip started the debate on his side. It's been 8 months. A critical matter that deals with dismissal of people from employment. Thousands of Ghanaian youths who were dismissed unjustifiably. And you don't want us to debate this matter. Mr. Speaker, I am pleading with the deputy leader. You are not the leader. You are not the leader. No, you are not the leader. I'm dealing with the leader. I'm dealing with the acting leader. So, Mr. Speaker, the acting
Honourable members, I
want him to ensure that tomorrow they program our motion to be taken. This House is not only doing government business, it is doing parliamentary business, and that includes the motion of the minority. It's been 8 months. It's been 8 months.
Thank you. Honourable members, tomorrow we are coming at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. The House stands adjourned.
we and some who were Timiko or channel so mamma was so jimre or had a senator or body, you know, and the Adumbi Adumiania. Unia, your best sign about a room.